Kabat Tyres is a family-owned family business founded in 1983. And over the past 4 decades, we have grown into a very well-established international manufacturer. And today, employ about 900 people and serve customers to more than 80 countries. Kabat is clearly a mid-range brand. So we do not aim to be the cheapest option on the market. That's not what we do. That's not our, let's say, mission. And instead, we focus on delivering strong values through proven performance and consistent European quality. We say here, work smarter, not harder, and that's what we do. We are a family company and we care about our employees, about the working condition, environment, and so on. So that's also a very big part of our investing. In the over past 5 years, our annual investment level has averaged around 15 million euros, and so it was supporting continuous, let's say, improvement in both quality and, of course, cost efficiency. And even if we see that around the Europe that this industry is getting more and more, let's say, hard to operate, we want to still be here. We want to be present. We want to have the European quality, and we just want to serve our customers with the best products and the best quality.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of CTB Tyre Talks, where we interview leading figures from the truck and agricultural tyre industry in Europe. Today we are joined by Bartosz Gospodarek, a new sales and marketing director for Kabat Tyres. So Bartosz, thank you for joining us today. This is obviously the first time that we've interviewed Kabat Tyres on commercial tyre businesses platforms. So I think it's going to be a good opportunity, for you to start by presenting the company, your activities, product range, and maybe, give a little bit of information about the geographical markets that you're active in.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Richard. Thank you very much for having us. It's a pleasure to be here to do this interview with you. So about the company, Kabat Tyres is a family-owned family business founded in 1983. And its owner and founder Andrzej Kabat is still operating the company, so he's still present here. He's still running the business. And over the past 4 decades, we have grown into a very well-established international manufacturer. And today, we employ about 900 people and serve customers to more than 80 countries worldwide. So including markets across both Americas, Europe, of course, Africa, Middle East, and Asia. And we are also present in, let's say, some markets like for example, Japan. Our core product range has traditionally focused on inner tubes, where we offer very extensive portfolio of over 700 sizes. And in addition, we manufactured, of course, tires, and this is mainly tires, agricultural and industrial applications, as well as some of solid tires for forklifts. We are also active in tire retreading, particularly for trucks and industrial segments. A significant part of our business is also rubber compound mixing. We provide a very comprehensive range of rubber compounds, including material used in tire production, such as top treads, sidewalls, or inner liners, as well as specialized compounds with properties like chemical resistance or suitability for foot contact, and many other branches. So it all depends on customer demands, actually. And beyond that, we are also a producer of rubber profiles and gaskets, which are widely used in sectors such as construction, ventilation systems, and of course, widely in automotive. Overall, so our strength lies in combining long-standing expertise with a broad, diversified product portfolio. So it allows us to meet the needs of customers across multiple industries and also multiple regions.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a fantastic description. I think instantly there you can see how Kabat Tyres, you have a broad portfolio across the rubber, tire, and automotive sector. It's covering a lot of ground there. I remember visiting your stand at Agritechnica last year, and speaking to your colleague Adam about your inner tubes products, but also about the fact that you were launching and presenting your Evolution radial tire range. Um, it was quite early when I spoke to Adam at the show. So maybe could you talk to us a bit about that product range again, how it's performing in the market, and maybe as well just talk a little bit about where you see Kabat's brand in the agricultural tire space.
Okay, yeah, certainly. Yeah, the Evolution radial tire range has been actually very well received by the market so far. So the customers appreciate its strong performance, particularly in terms of quality and reliability in real field conditions, because that's what they need. And we already seen, let's say, very solid sales, especially in Polish market, of course, but as well as significant volumes were delivered to such markets as South Africa or also Germany. So this actually confirms that the product performs well, not only in our European environment, but also in more demanding environments. So from a technical perspective, these tires offer several key advantages typical for high performing quality radial tires, radial construction. So including very wide and deep blocks, excellent self-cleaning quality, cleaning properties, a strong sidewall, and also large footprint. So it all translates into better traction and lower soil compaction. And looking ahead, we are very optimistic for the upcoming season and especially this spring. And in terms of brand positioning, what you were asking, Kabat is clearly a mid-range brand. So we do not aim to be the cheapest option on the market. That's not what we do. That's not our, let's say, mission. And instead, we focus on delivering strong values through proven performance and consistent European quality, which we believe is already very recognized by our customers, not only in Europe, but also in different regions.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a good explanation. Good to see that the brand that the product is showing some good initial performance. I remember the Evolution range was only released in a specific number of sizes, and that Adam talked about expanding the range further. Could you give any more details on those proposed expansions? And, if there is, could you maybe elaborate on a proposed timeline for that?
Yeah, sure. So expansion of our product portfolio is, of course, our key priority. So at this moment in the radial tire segment, we have the 6 sizes already on the market. But we also have another 12 sizes during development phase, and they will be introduced on the market later this year. But of course, this is only the next step for now. We know that we need to still expanding the offer, and our next plan is to expand this range further in the near future, because we know we need 60, 80, and then 100 sizes. The market is changing very fast. It's very evolving, so we need to keep up, and we need to be always in the market conditions. So, but at the same time, on the other hand, we still are working on about 20 new bias tires. So it's not only about radial at the moment, and this will be primary industrial tires, because we know they are already very well known on the market for their durability and performance in especially harsh operating conditions. So that's also what we do. And in addition to that, we are introducing flotation tires designed for large trailers. And the first product in this segment would be the tire 500 per 50 17-inch, and it's scheduled for release in the next month, actually. So that's also the ranges that we are want to develop.
Brilliant. I imagine with that flotation tire, would you be looking to promote that at the Tire Cologne in about a month and a half's time? Because that timeline sort of fits quite nicely together.
Yeah, for sure, it will be there.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that was a good guess by me.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've talked a little bit there about your agricultural line. Obviously, you mentioned in the introduction about, the pneumatic and solid tires that you provide as well. Once again, could you give us a bit more detail about these lines and in the same way as you just did on the agricultural side, maybe elaborate a bit more on the future plans for those product lines?
Yeah, okay. So our forklift tire segment operate within, we can say, slightly different supply chain compared to agricultural and other industrial tires, because distribution here for solid tires is primarily handled through workshops and big logistic centers and warehouses. So, which reflects different target group of this market and its actual customer base. And we already have very well established presence in Poland, several European countries, and also some countries in the Middle East. But going forward, one of our key objectives is to still strengthen our position in our neighboring countries, because that's what we want to focus mainly. And at the same time, we are investing in product development, also in solid tires. One example is our new line dedicated to intensive continuous operations, and this line will be named Kabat ProPower. This line is designed specifically for 24/7 professional use. So, featuring a newly developed tread pattern optimized for durability and performance in large warehouses, which we are seeing more and more, I guess, everywhere, but especially in Poland, we are seeing these warehouses are still growing, and it's more and more of them. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's a good description, obviously, of your product portfolio. I think we've got a good idea of what you offer. In terms of your distribution model, how is that structured? Are you, partnering up with exclusive distributors in each country, or do you have a more multiple distributor approach? Or indeed, are you trying to look to sell directly into countries?
Okay, as a manufacturer, we typically focus on building long-term partnership with our strategic distributors in each market. Most often with a large, well-established wholesalers. So most of them are dealing with tires, inner tubes, but also batteries and other spare parts. So that's our main point. But of course, depending on the market, we may work with either a single distributor, but also multiple partners. So this decision is influenced not only by the size of the country, also by its specific characteristics. So, for example, the scale of the agricultural sector in the market, or the structure of leading market players. So it's not always the same. But of course, we with exportation nearly to 90 countries worldwide, we fully recognize that each market operates somehow differently. And therefore, flexibility and ability to adapt our distribution approach to local conditions are actually essential elements of our strategy.
Yeah, definitely. No, that makes sense. I mean, as you said, each market is different. Europe, we commonly talk about Europe as a single market, but it's very different from the south of Europe to the north of Europe to the east of Europe. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it makes it doesn't make sense to have a homogeneous approach across the board. You need to be flexible and
Yeah,
hybrid, especially even more so in a world nowadays where we feel like there's just chaos. It feels like there's chaos everywhere at the time. So it's good to be flexible and adaptable in that regard. And
exactly.
going more into those markets, could you maybe give an overview of where you see Poland performing best, and also maybe talk to me a little bit about where there's room for improvement and your optimum strategy for growing in those areas?
Okay, so we can, let's say, divide in the inner tube segments. We hold a very strong position across the whole Europe, and we are very well established in major markets, including, for example, Germany, France, Italy, Romania, or UK. And our strategy here is to still continue strengthening our position by further expanding what is already one of the most comprehensive product ranges in the market, actually, because we know we have one of the biggest range of sizes with inner tubes on the world. And for example, we are introducing new specialized lines such as forestry tubes designed for demanding operating conditions, and it will be launched in May this year. In the tire segment, on the other hand, we are still in a growth phase, actually, and particularly in Western Europe, where we are actively, we can say, working to close the gap with established market leaders. And currently, Central Europe remains our strongest region in terms of sales. While we also have a very strong position also in other countries and regions like Northern or Southern Africa. And our long-term strategy, after all, is to continuously expand our tire portfolio to ensure complete and competitive offer. We are also closely following the market trends, and we see that the tires are becoming larger and wider, and we need to align and develop the roadmap accordingly.
Yes, absolutely. No, that makes complete sense. And thinking then further afield from product development, are you making any business investments at your facilities in Poland to help, propel the business forward?
Yeah, investment and actually improvement is continuous. So it's a fundamental actually part of our development strategy. In recent years, we have significantly expanded our infrastructure, including new production buildings, warehouses, and machinery, of course. For example, we have nearly doubled our inner tube production capacity. And at the same time, we are investing in improving working conditions for our employees because we know automatization is an important element here. And not as a mean of reducing employment, but just the opposite, to make the work more efficient, more ergonomic and safer. We say here, work smarter, not harder, and that's what we do. We are a family company and we care about our employees, about the working condition, environment, and so on. So that's also a very big part of our investing. But we are also, of course, upgrading our machinery park. And the recent investments include advanced equipment, such as, for example, for tire building machines, which two of them were specially designed for heavy industrial tires. And then also another two tire building machines for Radial tires. A few months ago, we also installed almost new professional tire runout machine. It was from Italian company Leonardo, and it allows us the full simulation of the front tractor tires. So it's actually a game changer in terms of tire testing. And we also installed additional 8 85-inch presses to increase capacity for very big tires, and another 4 75 presses designed for industrial tires especially. And in addition, about 3 years ago, we implemented a new ERP system in our factory, which integrates and optimizes our operations, supply chain, order management, and it just gives us the, say, full live access to the data, to the overall view of the operation and results. So to summarize, in the over past 5 years, our annual investment level has averaged around 15 million euros, and so it was supporting continuous, let's say, improvement in both quality and, of course, cost efficiency. That was the two of the main points.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's quite seismic investment, and that should really underpin and support the product developments across your tire and inner tube products that you've been talking about. I can see how that would really, that's a key part of your strategy and operations. Thinking then just about this year and 2027, what are your plans and objectives? You've mentioned a few of the product developments you've got. Product events and product launches you've got roadmapped. Have you got anything else that's in the works?
Yes, so actually looking ahead, our priorities are, we can say, clearly defined. So firstly, we are focused on optimizing our production cost, particularly in the small inner tube segment. And this part includes process improvements, of course, packaging automation and further optimization of, for example, raw material sourcing. Secondly, we will continue our tire portfolio that we strengthen our competitiveness and market position. So we need to still developing and expanding the offer for the tires. And another important area of growth is our compound mixing business. So we have very significant production capacity in this segment, and we are continuously broadening our range of rubber compounds to serve a wider group of customers. So just to summarize, the overall our objective is to increase our market share and continue growing even in this challenging and highly competitive global environment which we are seeing. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for that, Bartosz. Is there anything else you'd like to say regarding Kabat and your business at all?
Most of the points I already talked, but to our, let's say, to everybody that is somehow involved with the tire industry, with the rubber industry, we are very open to cooperate. We want to be one of the top players in the market, that's for sure. So we will be still expanding our offer, and even if we see that around the Europe that this industry is getting more and more, let's say, hard to operate, because we see the facilities are closing, are, let's say, going with the production somewhere else. We want to still be here. We want to be present. We want to have the European quality, and we just want to serve our customers with the best products and the best quality.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, thank you for your time today, Bartosz. It's been great to learn more about Kabat. I see there's a lot of interesting developments that are in the pipeline, and we'll be back very soon with another episode of CTB Tyre Talks.
Thank you very much.